93.3 KZOZ FM San Luis Obispo. The home of Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
They have no chemistry at all.
Dumbass of the Day is brought to you by Peterson's U-Cart. Ready for spring? Are you ready for spring? They're going to get you ready for spring. Stop on by Peterson's U-Cart and see everything that they have to make your yard look amazing. From concrete to pipes to landscape supplies. Go to Peterson, the letter U, cart.com.
How pathetic can some people be?
I got a phone call from my daughter's school, and I picked up the phone, and the woman goes, "Yes, hello, this is Mrs. Schron." And I said, "Mrs. Schlong?" So we started off a very bad note there. I said, "Can I help you?" She said, "Yes, there was an incident with your daughter today. She said F." So, well, you know, when I was in school, that was part of the alphabet. And she said, "Well, she said the F word." And I wanted to say, you know, this is New York City. Be glad she didn't show up with a gun. But it was very nice. I said, "Well, exactly what happened?" She said, "Well, today was picture day. And your daughter had a pimple, and she didn't want to have her picture taken, so she just said F." I said, "Well, you know, it sounds like it was in context. I mean..." And then she got very nasty with me. She said, "Well, that's why I'm calling. You see, I understand you're a comedian and all, and I hope that's not the way you talk at home." So I was like, all right, listen, Mrs. Schlong. I hope you don't think I'm a B. Or, God forbid, a C. But I think you need to lighten up some. I think maybe you need to get F'd.
Dumbass of the Day.
I really thought she was going to go
93.3 KZOZ.
down the line of the alphabet to D. What is she going to say for D? You know, parents always wish their kids would, you know, grow up to be disciplined and, of course, smart and maybe become doctors or lawyers, right? But you might not want them to be a lawyer. They might sue you. That's what happened to a couple with their 41-year-old son who lives in London. They live in Dubai, and they've been paying him an allowance for his entire life. Still to this day, as an attorney, he gets a allowance until last month, when they decided to cut it off. Apparently, he got fired from the practice he worked at and hasn't been working for almost a year. Mom finally got sick of it and said, "Well, you're going to quit sucking from the teat, and you're going to have to go get another job." That's when he filed a lawsuit suing his parents. You know, I don't know, something probably along the lines of, you know, it's what he's accustomed to. It's like, what do they call it when you get divorced and you have child support and then you have alimony, and your spouse apparently gets alimony even if they didn't work because they were accustomed to a certain lifestyle? He's kind of going that route here.
I really hope he doesn't win. I really hope he doesn't win, because if this sets any kind of global precedent, then it's going to be a big problem for a society that's already in decline.
He says he's entitled to maintenance fees for life because he's vulnerable. Because as he grew up as a child, he had some health issues. Cutting his allowance is in violation of his human rights.
My parents used to pay my car insurance while I was going to college.
That's nice.
And, you know, me in college, it took a long time. And
I know why, because you didn't want to pay your car insurance.
Exactly. And I got the job here, and they said, "Oh, by the way, we're not paying for your car insurance anymore." And my response was like, that seems pretty fair. Okay. Not like I'm accustomed to a certain way of life.
You had it good, man. My mom made me pay for my own car insurance. As a matter of fact, she made me get on my own policy because she was afraid if I killed somebody that they would take our house and everything.
See, it's really strange. Yet buy you $3,500 luxury
But they bought me
gifts.
a bulldog. Yeah, they bought me a bulldog. That is very true.
I've never had my parents spend $3,500 on a gift for me in my life.
Somewhere in London, there's an unemployed, lazy attorney who's looking for work and suing his parents.
No, he's not looking for work. He's looking for the easy way out.
That's very true. And you are our Jeff and Jeremy's
Dumbass of the Day. 93.3 KZOZ.
Don't be a dummy when it comes to your landscape supplies. Go to Peterson U-Cart on Gusta Road, just north of Quickie Car Wash in Atascadero.
We load,
We are hanging out with Whitney from downtown Slow. I feel like things are moving really fast nowadays, Jeff. I feel like before you know it, everything's going to be back to normal.
Chomping at the bit. Everyone is.
And everybody's excited to get out. And the farmer's market, I think, is going to be here sooner than you think. And I know people miss it. But this will be something that happens in phases, as Whitney told us, and she's with us now. And so we're thinking May last week is what we said. Has that been moved up?
It has not been moved up. There is no set date. Let me be clear about that. So I know that.
Well, just let me lie.
God, don't pigeonhole her. Come on.
Let me pigeonhole you for a minute. Because we want this to happen. We want to rush it.
I know.
No,
Things are happening, man. I am busy trying to get everything involved and lined up, and it's a weird space because a lot of other farmers markets that just have the farmers have been operating in a very controlled CDC-approved environment, and so we're trying to meet that moment while also meeting the expectations of what the downtown environment looks like. It's a whole puzzle piece and I love puzzles, so I'm having fun with this. But
until then, you're just going to have to celebrate Women's History Month, which is good. And I think what they're doing downtown is pretty awesome. But I'll let you explain it. But it has to do with food, which is always a good thing.
Food is always a good thing. You can never have too much food, or maybe you can, but it's always a good thing. Enjoy Slow has put together an event called At Her Table to celebrate Women's History Month, and part of that includes celebrating a lot of the downtown restaurants that are operated and owned by women. And that's not, there are plenty of retailers down there that are owned and operated by women as well. So celebrating everyone, but I do have some highlights about the food that I wanted to give a shout out to. Things that include like Linnea's. Have you ever had their rosemary shortbread cookies?
I don't like rosemary.
Oh, see,
I do.
I don't understand people that like rosemary. It is the biggest turnoff to me.
I don't like cookies that are too sweet, and rosemary and shortbread sounds pretty amazing, actually.
They are phenomenal. I feel like rosemary is kind of like cilantro, where it's like you either love it or you hate it.
Right, but I'm sure Linnea's makes other things I would like.
Oh yeah, they have like really good food, and it's just if you've never eaten at Linnea's, I know a lot of times I don't think of coffee shops as getting like lunches and whatnot, but they have some really good
Isn't
meals.
that downtown?
In the French Quarter, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's in your favorite place.
It's called
French Quarter.
No, but isn't that the place on the other side of Black Sheep?
Yeah.
And they used to yell at us all the time when we were, that was
the other side of Black? Oh,
they share a wall.
It's on Garden Street.
Jeff and I would be on
they share a wall.
At the patio at Black Sheep, and on the other side of that patio is the patio for Linnea's. And we'd be back there, and people would be yelling at us like, hey, keep it down, or... I don't know.
Sometimes
some
people we
days.
knew would smoke cigarettes when they allowed that back on the back porch at the Black Sheep, when there was still some uncertainty to the laws. So some of the people that we were with would smoke cigarettes, and they would get mad because of the secondhand smoke.
That's another woman-owned and operated business, and their back patio is fabulous. So if you'd rather go to Black Sheep, you've got options, my friend.
It's great. Nachos, best deal on nachos ever.
So good.
Ever.
Oh, you know why? That's
my meal.
That's
what's the fresh jalapeno.
What's his name? The chef. He's been there forever. He's so good.
I should know his name.
Oh, I know his name. We have a friend that was in TV in Seattle. The same name.
I don't know.
Arturo. His name's Arturo. Sorry, I had to think about that out loud.
Arturo Santiago is the chef there now?
No, Arturo Santiago is not the chef there
anymore. So.
But the other Arturo is, and he's been there for over a decade. I think he's been there since they opened. They opened like right before Jeff and I moved here. We found the bar recently after we moved here, within months. And it was always my bar. At least I felt that's where I always wanted to go with. And all of our friends went there, and we'd do takeovers. And it was great. But
fresh
they have great food
jalapenos
there.
are totally underrated.
The what?
Fresh jalapenos. Like putting fresh jalapenos on things, like a lot of times the pepper,
it's canned.
The pepper of choice for everybody is green bell peppers, right, or red bell peppers, or yellow bell peppers. But really, where the flavor is, and not the spice. The jalapeno gets a bad rap for being too spicy. It's not. And if you cut a jalapeno the right way and throw it on your nachos, whatever, it actually adds way more flavor than the peppers do.
I put jalapenos and chili. I put it in everything because I love it.
Excellent. Underrated pepper.
Yeah, but anyways, the Black Sheep is owned by a woman, and it has great food, but Linnea's is fantastic. And can you, is that you can sit down and eat there, right? Do they do a full menu, or is it more like a bakery type place?
They do have a full menu. They have a lot of breakfast and lunch options. They don't do dinner. But yeah, their menu is great.
I heard that
Go.
what is it, waffles? Their waffles are really good, from what I've heard. I've never been
waffles.
there. Or is it waffle or pancake? There's something that's like a standard that it's like everybody's like, oh, you got to go there and try it. I forget what it is.
I feel like
go there
the
now.
breakfast burrito, but we could all go discover. I don't know. Also, apparently the huevos rancheros at Louisa's place. Have you ever had those?
I've been to Luis's place, but I've never had the huevos rancheros. I've always had like biscuits and gravy or something.
Apparently it's the owner's special and it's her favorite, so you better go check it out.
Oh, okay. I love breakfast places. I just love
Me too.
going to new breakfast places all the time. All the time. So we're talking about slow right now, and you can do 25%. You got to wear your mask, so just don't leave that in the car. And the red tier,
That ain't Texas.
is good because we get to get out and see our friends again.
Downtown slow. It ain't Texas.
It definitely is not
There's your new
Texas.
slogan.
All right, we got Whitney on. We'll talk more about what's going on downtown when we come back.
Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Just kicking it on a Thursday with our buddy Whitney, who always came on Thursdays because Farmers Market was on Thursday night. We're not there yet. We're still planning, moving ahead. We're hoping for this May, but we don't have anything written down in ink yet, just some pencil. We're excited that we can get back into the restaurants downtown, 25%. What else is going on?
What else is going on? Well, St. Patrick's Day is coming around the corner, and we have our Slow Lucky Light Tunnel in Mission Plaza. So if you have yet to check that out, it's this cute little activation to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. It has rainbows, pot of gold on it, and just a fun little photo op. So make sure to check it out before it goes away. And then another fun thing for the kids, we actually used to do this at Farmers Market. The City of Slow Parks and Rec has 8 missing leprechauns stationed throughout downtown. So if you go to their office at 1341 Napomo Street, you can get their first clue and then start the hunt. Usually they have the leprechauns hidden amongst the different booths at the farmers market. So I'm excited that they've found a way to pivot and figure it out. But yeah, a fun little, hopefully the weather's nice this weekend. You can get down there with the kids and have some fun.
All right. Downtownslow.com if you want to find out more about what's going on.
With all this rain I guess yesterday, there's rainbows everywhere. And my kids want me to go chasing these rainbows to find the leprechaun. I'm like,
did you ever do that when you were a kid? Be honest. Did you ever see a rainbow? I did one time, and then I realized, it's a trick.
Keeps going. Actually, downtown slow. It ain't Texas, but it is a place where you can actually find a leprechaun.
That's right. We're here for you.
That's what we've established. Because those leprechauns are elusive SOBs.
Yeah.
Can't find them anywhere.
Yeah. So, corned beef and cabbage. Yeah. I'm going to get some tonight, Jeff. If I do it this week, I can do it this week and next week. You like corned beef and cabbage too, Whitney?
Depends. If it's good, yes. If it's just like not well done, then no. It's kind of like cilantro. Like you got to know what you're doing with that.
Well, I mean, I cook mine in the crock pot with like chicken broth, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, you pick up this little kit.
Better.
I pick up a kit at California Fresh. It's got everything, corned beef, and it's got the seasoning in there. And then you just cut up the cabbage into quarters. You put it in the crock pot. You put your broth in there. You put the seasoning in there, and you let it slow cook all day. It's pretty good.
Look at you.
It's easy. I mean, come on, set it and forget it. Jeff hates it. And I always get together with one of the old guys in the building.
It smells like somebody's cooking laundry in a crock pot.
It also doesn't look very great.
No, it's terrible.
It smells amazing. It doesn't smell like laundry. It smells rich and delicious.
Yeah, like cooked laundry. It's definitely a rich smell.
When is St. Patrick's Day this year? Does it fall on a work day, a weekday?
It is a Wednesday.
Perfect, because we're going to be doing it. We're going to be making the corned beef and cabbage in the station, and Jeff hates it because it stinks up the whole station.
Okay.
I was going to say, that sounds like
amazing. During a pandemic, how many sick days I've been able to amass. Now I don't feel so bad for calling in sick. because we're
If
in a
you
red
call
tier.
in sick because there's corned beef and cabbage in the building, that is
No,
ridiculous.
that wouldn't be the reason. The reason would be because I'm not feeling good.
You know what makes you feel better? Corned beef and cabbage soup.
It's not chicken noodle, my
That
friend.
sounds good, doesn't it?
It is not chicken noodle.
I guess I'm just hungry. So, all right, Whitney. Well, it's always great to talk to you. Get down there and celebrate Women's History Month and women in downtown San Luis Obispo. And what is the name of the company that's putting this on again? The Slow
Enjoy
Eats?
Slow.
Enjoy Slow. Okay. Enjoy Slow. All right, cool. All right, Whitney, we'll catch up with you next time.
Sounds good.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.